Okay, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another short little video. This time not doing a guide necessarily, but talking about the state of Preservation Evoker, because I see so much online. You see all the tier lists, you see the people talking on Twitter. Pres Evoker is bad, it just doesn't heal. That's what Twitch chat says, right? Pres doesn't heal. Wrong. Preservation Evoker does heal. The truth is the spec is just really hard to pull off, right? So it is in a worse state than other healers, right? You go against a Resto Druid matchup, it is hard. It is hard to win. And that is the key thing, is that this spec is not simple. You've got other specs that are easier to pull off. The difficulties of Preservation Evoker is the positioning. It's different to every other healer. You are constantly jumping into the fight. Every time you Verdant Embrace a target, you are in their melee radius, right? So your positioning is constantly changing with your spells. You've got a shorter range. It's not actually that much shorter. All of your healing spells have a 30-yard range. Your damage spells have a 25-yard range. So that's not that bad. It is worse though, and that does give you complications when you compare up to other healers. So it's understandable, right? The range is a slight issue, but the biggest one is the constant positional changes. That is the main difficulty, right? So that is a learning curve. The next thing is you are a combo-based healer. You have so many different combos, different conditions that will change your healing output, different spells to use rotationally depending on the situation. You know, is someone getting bursted? Are you cleave healing? Stuff like this will all change your rotation. Things that typically stay consistent is like when you Verdant, you want to buff your Dream Breath with Verdant, right? And then you want to echo your Dream Breath because it's your best hot, so you want two of them. Then there's other things that make it more difficult, like making the most out of the tier set. So I've seen some talk that tier set is bad. There's no real final verdict on that yet, but I think the tier set is good, and the reason for that is because the Living Flames, well, the two-piece is definitely good. Everyone knows the two-piece is good. The Living Flames give you Essence Burst procs. So when you Dream Breath, for example, you'll shoot out 3 Living Flames. They will hit people. Those all have a chance to give you an Essence Burst proc. Now the next bit is you get a reduced effectiveness echo, right? So this reduced effectiveness echo is bad in cases where you might want 2 Dream Breaths on a target, because your second echo, your echo is now going to make your second Dream Breath a lot more nerfed than it would be if you just cast echo. Where it's good is you can get a lot of healing output by triple life binding with Verdant. So you echo one target, you Verdant another. And that's going to put life bind on all 3 arena targets, including yourself. That's going to spread healing between all 3 targets, so you get increased healing through this. That doesn't matter if the echo is nerfed by the tier set, because you get that buff regardless. The other advantage of this as well is the reversion hot. Obviously the reversion hot will be weaker, but having 2 reversions on a target increases your healing through grace period, the talent. So things like that make the tier set good, in my opinion. And using those spread echoes correctly, those nerfed echoes, you have to use them correctly for it to be valuable. And also using your tier set for Essence Burst procs is what separates a good Evoker from a bad one. And that's just a small example. So really what I would say is, if you want to pick up Pres Evoker and you think, oh no, I'm not going to do it because the spec's weak right now. It's getting buffed soon. It's getting buffed in 10.2.5. So people will often start picking up a spec when it gets buffed. The truth is, you might as well start playing it now, because it's probably not going to get buffed that much, and at the end of the day, if you don't know how to play Pres Evoker, it will still be bad. It's a skill cap healer. It's got a skill curve. It's different to every other healer, so you need to put time in on the spec. So my advice there to anyone who wants to get good at Pres Evoker is, this is a shameless plug, start watching other Pres Evokers. Follow channels that produce Pres Evoker content. Like myself, I produce educational Pres Evoker content that provide gameplay. And then there's other people, look at some of the pros, way better than me. Someone like Sidu, right? He makes Pres guides. He actually loves Pres Evoker. He's a great person to watch and follow, ask questions to. And you want to engage with these people and just learn the best things to do, how to use the little intricacies of the spec. A great example is what I call like global weaving with Pres Evoker. So that will be one global will be a heal, one will be a damage global, and maximizing that time of switching between your 2 different modes is going to make a huge difference. There's things like when to use Oppressive Roar, when to use your Deep Breath, so many things. You know, these cooldowns aren't short, but they're very powerful if you use them in the right circumstance. So there's, like I said, so many intricacies to the spec, and you can only get better at this spec by watching someone better than you or equal to you to learn things that you're not doing that they are doing, trying these new things, and then reflecting on it again. So once again, my advice is just go out there, try the spec, watch people who play the spec, try the spec again, and improve now before it gets buffed, and then you'll be ahead of all the new people trying to improve the spec. Thanks guys, leave a like, comment, follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/elitedamit, and have a good day.